In order to engage the coaching process, there are a few things that we need to address first. And this is probably the most painful, uncomfortable thing to hear, but it must be said. The biggest problem or hurdle to overcome in coaching is you. There, I said it. Every problem you or your organization is facing, every challenge, every setback, every issue can always come back to you. And I know that that's really a hard pill to swallow, but let me explain to you how this works. See, everything rises and falls on leadership, everything. And if you're the leader or one of the leaders of your organization, you have the ultimate and final responsibility for the outcomes and results that you see. And this is true in so many different facets of life. For example, if you're in a marriage and it's failing or it's not changing, and you happen to be one of the two leaders of that marriage, well, you have ultimate responsibility. If you run a company and you're seeing negative results and you are the leader, you have ultimate responsibility. If you run or lead a nonprofit like a foundation or even a church, and you find out that your fundraising numbers are down or that your attendance is down, you have ultimate responsibility. I know this is very difficult to hear, but lucky for you and for me, while we have ultimate responsibility for our results and the actions that drive those results, we have an awesome opportunity to change the direction of our organizations by dealing with the only person or people who can really make a difference. And that all starts right here. That's right, in our minds. Here's a saying that you might be familiar with. You must be transformed through the renewing of your mind. Well, what does that really even mean? Well, to put it simply and plainly, that means that it starts with you. You must be engaged to change the way you think and challenge the ways you believe about things. By taking captive your thoughts and your beliefs, you can renew your mind and grow into the leader that you need to become. Here is how this works, and you may even want to write this down. Thoughts and beliefs drive actions, and actions drive results. See, there was a time in my life that I wanted to lose weight, and a lot of it, not a little bit. I mean, I was over 320 pounds, and I felt a calling to leave my posh bachelor life in Chicago to go join the military to become an Army chaplain. But I had a ton of weight that I needed to lose. Let's be honest, fat guys don't run fast. And that's where I was at. I knew the results I needed to achieve the goal. I had to lose 100 pounds in order to get into the military. That's a tall feat. So I did what any other overweight person who needed to lose weight would do. I went out and I bought the nicest stationary bicycle that I could find. It had all the bells and whistles. It had a cup holder, had a place for me to plug in my iPod. It had a built-in face fan. I was excited. And the day that it arrived, I rearranged my living arrangements to put it right next to the bathroom door. So when I was done working out, I could go right into the shower. It was facing the television in my bedroom. I was ready. But let me tell you, after the first 2 weeks, I was pretty disappointed in the bicycle. I hadn't lost any weight. Despite having the bicycle and all the tools and the know-how to lose weight, I hadn't changed. Why? Well, apparently for an exercise bicycle to work, you have to get on it and ride it. You have to burn more calories than you take in and eat. And there was a problem with that because I like to eat. And lo and behold, I discovered that I absolutely did not like riding the stationary bicycle. And that was the reason that I was 320 pounds. Imagine my shock and my dismay when I realized that I knew the results I wanted and I knew the actions that I needed to take, but I never did them. Why? Well, because thoughts and beliefs drive actions, and actions drive results. In order to lose weight, I needed to change the ways I thought about exercise and food. I needed to renew my mind about eating healthy and working out. It was only after that I did those things that I was able to think differently about those two things, that I was able to allow my thoughts and beliefs to drive my actions, which then produced the results I wanted. I lost 100 pounds in less than 9 months, and I was able to achieve my goal. Do you see it? Do you see how thoughts and beliefs drive actions and actions drive results? How about you? Do you desire change? Well, chances are you already know what the desired results are. You may even have the tools to achieve those results. But like me, you have an exercise bike serving as a towel rack somewhere in your house. It's full of potential. If you could just change the way you think and believe, exercise bikes only work when you use them. And you only use them when you think and believe differently about exercise. Let me share one more story with you. After I lost the weight, I rode on a bus down to the Army processing station. I selected my military occupation specialty, or my job, and I signed my name on the dotted line. I stood before an Army major, I raised my right hand, and I took an oath to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. I was a soldier. At least that's what they told me. I didn't feel any different. I mean, I was a soldier in name and on paper, but in my mind, I was just a civilian. So I arrived at basic training and I learned how to make beds and march to cadence. And I did tons of push-ups and sit-ups. And I became an expert with my rifle. I learned how to do hand-to-hand combat. The drill sergeants, they yelled and they threatened. They called my mother names I didn't even know existed. And 2 weeks into basic training, I was stronger. I had more skills. But I still felt like a civilian with a bad haircut. I didn't think I was a soldier. Well, I arrived at the confidence course with my battle buddies. Now, we were told that our platoon needed to scale 5 ascending walls in less than 20 minutes. The whistle blew, and we began the mission. The first wall was about 4 feet tall, and we all got over the wall by ourselves. No need to help or ask for help. The next wall was 6 feet tall. Some of us needed a boost. One battle buddy kneed me in the face when he went over, leaving me with a shiner. Another female soldier was really short, so we just threw her over the wall with a thud. The next wall at 8 feet, it was breached as we all complained and cursed at each other. The fourth wall was 10 feet, and the agony and the frustration was so real at this point. A shot to the groin, landing on my shoulder on the other side, it just enraged me. I didn't understand why we were doing this exercise, but something amazing happened at the 5th wall. We stopped seeing the wall, and like a well-oiled machine, all 8 of us got up and over that wall. And when my feet touched down on the other side of that 12-foot wall, my mind had been changed. I remember looking up in that wall and saying, oh my gosh, I just went over a 12-foot wall. It was in that moment I realized that I was a soldier. That single moment, now over 2 decades ago, has transformed the way I think about life and mission and challenges. Because we all face them. We all have walls to overcome. And by pushing through, I moved my mindset from that of a civilian with a goal to a soldier with a purpose. Thoughts and beliefs drive actions. Actions drive results. Well, how does this work? Well, go ahead and take a look at this diagram. Results are always nice and neatly boxed in a mission statement and vision statements and Excel spreadsheets and PowerPoints. We know what we want. Get to the next page here. We know what we want. But in order to get there, we need to motivate our bodies with action, or our teams and organizations with tasks and purpose to achieve those results. But notice the biggest things on here. The biggest thing on here is the head. It's split in 2 sections. This is the conscious and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is always listening and observing and planning, but it's always subjected to the subconscious mind, where your autopilot programming lives. Seriously, have you ever driven to work and you've gotten a phone call while you're driving to work, and you find yourself at the end of the phone call sitting in the parking lot of your building? How does that work? Well, it's pretty simple. Your subconscious mind, while your conscious mind is engaged in the phone call, your subconscious mind is driving and getting you to where you need to go. It's like muscle memory for your mind. It just happens out of habit. But what would happen if, while you were on the phone and driving, if you encountered road construction? Well, then the subconscious mind fails. The driving program discovers a bug in the programming, and you have to end the call, turn down the music, and reacclimate yourself to the ride. You need to actually think. And in this process, you learn a new path to work. This happens with you every single day. And the programming in your subconscious mind plays a huge role in how you think. What you believe about yourself was programmed long ago by the words spoken over you by your parents and your teachers. The way you react to certain stimulus was programmed from root events and experiences that still impact you today in forms of fear, apprehension, feelings of failure. Your subconscious mind is actively working against your conscious mind to prevent new programming from being written. And most people live their entire lives this way. My mom said I was a terrible cook, so I'll never be able to cook anything. And they never do. My dad said that I was a failure or I was worthless, so I'll never have a job that amounts to anything. And they never do. My teachers told me that I was dumb and I couldn't be an architect, so I better look for an easier career. So you never follow that dream of becoming an architect. But it doesn't just stop with us. The same kind of unfiltered subconscious thinking and belief structures exist in companies and organizations too. This is what these negative dominant thoughts sound like. We can't do that. That will never work. We tried that. We don't do things like that here. And this is why we have a saying, and it's another hard pill to swallow. If there's a problem, I'm the problem, and I can fix the problem. You are the problem in your organization. Your mind needs to be renewed. Your subconscious mind has been on autopilot, and it needs to be challenged in order to think new thoughts and believe new beliefs. This is how you are transformed, through the renewing of your mind. Now, there's another very powerful dominant thought that we need to go over and review, and I want you to take a look at this with me, because this is incredibly important. The biggest negative dominant thought we all have, it's thinking that if we want different results, all we need to do is change the actions that we're taking. But this is insanity. I mean, literally doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. What needs to change is the mindset of a person or an organization. Remember, thoughts and beliefs drive actions, actions drive results. We often say to ourselves, okay, we have a new way of thinking, let's act differently. And then we put those actions in place. But if we don't get the results we want, what do? We just go back and come up with new actions. We never go back and rethink and challenge our thoughts. If a company desires to increase their sales, they may say, let's try selling a new way. When they try selling a new way and they don't get the results they want, they go back and tweak the sales process when really they need to be tweaking the way they think about it. If your organization or nonprofit is thinking about ways to attract new membership, you may come up with a new plan. Let's do this. When that doesn't work, you need to come back and tweak the way you think about it, not simply change your actions. As you begin this coaching journey, I want to encourage you to do a few things. Number one, remember that some of this should not be taken personally. All of it should be taken personally in a healthy manner. You can only become or achieve what you think you can become or achieve. You are the only limit to your success and the only builder of ceilings in your life, in your organization. So approach coaching with an open mind to learn. Number two, remember that thoughts and beliefs drive actions, and actions drive results. And finally, number three, call out negative dominant thoughts when you hear them, when you speak them, when you think them. This is the battle with your subconscious mind. This is how you rewrite the programming in the way that you think. Allow your mind to be transformed by being renewed. This is why we say, if there's a problem, I'm the problem, and I can fix the problem. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. We hope that you guys have an amazing time in being coached and changing the way you think.